It's the 2022 Pdga Masters Disc Golf World Championships from the Peoria area of Illinois, and today from Northwood Blue with back nine third round coverage of the FP40 division. Thanks to Ace Run Pro for the footage, Gatekeeper Media for the graphics. It's Grant Zellner and Jennifer Allen as the race continues for this World Championship.
Yeah, we're about halfway through this long week of Masters Worlds. The front nine ended on out to a pretty good lead, 15 down, followed closely by Holly Finley, Sarah Hokom, and Juliana rounds out our lead card as we start the 10th hole.
A par 3 at 261 feet. This part of a couple of holes here that are a little bit more out in the open.
Out in the open, but extremely a lot of branches that come in the way. This shot in particular, you have to keep pretty low. Lots of low-lying branches that can hit and snag your disc. Luckily, only 261 feet, so if you do get caught up, it's still pretty easy to save par. It's almost more of a straight shot than it looks. Owen's going to take that forehand around nice and wide and get the perfect skip right up to the basket. Sarah's going to try to do the exact same shot. Doesn't typically throw quite a stable disc, and that works out even better.
Wow. Yeah, a little bit softer there for Sarah.
Holly taking an understable mid, probably on a little hyzer release to float back, and she is going to be just outside circle edge.
Juliana Korver takes a little bit of a lower route there, watches the disc hyzer out to just outside of the circle.
Yeah, that's going to be a good putt. It just needed to keep the turn a little bit longer for her. Holly lets it go a little high, offline.
She'll have a 20-foot comebacker to save her par.
Good bid. And Owen is back to picking mulberries. You will see Owen eating all over the course.
How are any left anywhere lower than about 7
I know.
feet?
I told her she's going to have to take a ladder around the course now. Holly slams in that par save very confidently, possibly a little angry at herself, but capitalizes on the good comeback.
JK taps in her par save as well.
Own bag on mulberry in mouth taps in her birdie, as does Sarah with CTP.
I actually tried a mulberry at Owen's urging. They're sweet. They're not nearly as strongly flavored, though, as I expected, but they're sweet. And we find ourselves at the 11th, a 603-foot par 4.
Par 4 that you have to keep a low straight shot. Finishing on the left side makes the second shot just a little bit easier. Opens up onto the right where we find our basket tucked all the way in the shadows.
There it is. Got to get pretty close before you can even see it.
Yeah, this can be a very difficult hole for some of the women, because those low branches really come into play. Oh, busting out the roller. I had not seen that before.
And it won't stop.
Excellent choice. And surprisingly rolls very well with the thick grass. Sarah going with her trusty forehand. And she can do some work with these tree lines if she can just get through that first one. That's going to be fine. Might take her 2 more to get to the basket, but she can easily save par. Holly really getting all of it on there, and you have to get past that first low branch on the right. That's where the flex shot, sometimes a little bit easier because it opens a little more on the left, then it opens a little bit more on the right, but difficult to get your disc to follow those openings all the way down.
Good finish there for JK. We'll leave her an open look at the basket. Sarah, though, playing first.
And it's hard to get a lot of distance with low branches right in front of you.
Mm-hmm. Holly now from 305 feet.
She's going to try to get everything on this hyzer. Unfortunately, the low branches make her let that go just a little too low and gets caught up in the thick grass.
Juliana, just 300 to go.
She has the straightest floating shot that I think that there is on tour. She gets that to go all the way up, hopefully for a good look for her birdie.
We're now on with less than 250 to go.
Comes out high. Made it almost all the way there. That'll be still a birdie look for Own. She's inside 50. That'll be a birdie look for Own.
Still 170 to go here for Sarah. Wraps around the outside there for a stress-free par.
Yeah, and even though you can get caught up a few times being a par 4, if you just stick with it, deep breath, you can get up there for the par. Good jump putt for Holly. Stays close.
Oh, now from 53.
Boom. Okay, my mistake. I said 50. Run that back. This is from 53. Own, almost automatic. The strongest wobbling putt on tour. And she's going to get that birdie.
If you listen closely, you heard her say, "Oh yeah," while the disc was still in the air.
Yeah, you know when it comes out just right. You know it's going to go in as long as the basket keeps it.
JK in with kind of a quiet birdie of her
A
own.
lot easier birdie there for her. And Sarah taps at her par. They played that hole very well.
The lead up to 9 now for Own Scoggins and Holly Finley, the new player in second place.
Ledgestone. Every summer, hundreds of disc golfers flock to the greater Peoria, Illinois area to compete in the sport's richest and most charitable event, the Ledgestone Open. But what does Ledgestone look like for the rest of the year? On the surface, Ledgestone is one of disc golf's leading retailers, but look a little closer and you'll find a group of motivated individuals providing the best possible service to the disc golf community. So whether you're building a bag, wanting to support your favorite pro, or looking to add to your disc golf wardrobe, choose the retailer that's as passionate about the sport as you are. Choose Ledgestone.
Make sure that you like, subscribe, and follow Ace One Pro. They bring you some excellent coverage out here. We're to the 12th hole.
A par 3 at 279 feet. I was told this used to be the bed of a railroad track.
Okay, that makes sense for that little ridge. What we want to do is a good straight shot that gets around this little tree and then finishes off to the right. Try not to get too caught up in that cedar. And then a little rough if you go long into some berries. Not the edible ones for Own.
No, these are the red
Those
ones.
You do
Stay
not
away.
eat the red ones. Own's going to crush out her forehand destroyer. Hopefully get a better skip than round 1. Misses the tree. Well inside her range for birdie.
Just about 12 to 15 feet there for Own. Here's Juliana.
She's going to take that slow fading turnover shot. Gets hung up on that ridge just a little bit.
Next up, Sarah Hokom.
Good hole for the forehand if you can get around those low branches. Just inside the circle.
Actually,
Circle's
just
edge.
a little deeper. This hole, it messed with me a little bit too. Some of the optics, I think maybe because of that mound.
And the shadows of the tree really get me as well. Holly hoping to punch through that cedar. There, if you can get inside, there are some holes to get a clean putt out.
So JK was 70 feet away.
Wow.
I would have thought it was closer than that, but double check to make sure I was correct on that one. And here is Holly. She's just about 45 out.
Unfortunately, her kicked her to the outside. That's a lot harder than it would actually be on the middle of those trees. It's a strange group of trees there.
Sarah nearly putting that bid in just a couple of inches low, catches the face mask, and now Own
taps in the only birdie on the 12th. I think she could make those with her eyes closed. They may be closed
That
with
might
her
be-
sunglasses on. You never know.
We used to shoot free throws with our eyes closed back in high school as a drill. Maybe that'd be a good way to putt from 15 or 20 feet.
I don't know if anyone,
I wouldn't do it in a
I don't know if
tournament.
anyone would ever recommend that.
I might
but
do that as a
these
practice
girls,
routine.
These girls are going to tap in their pars and move over to the 13th.
You heard it from Jennifer Allen. Don't putt
Do
with your
not.
eyes closed in a tournament. As Own Scoggins opens up a 10-stroke lead over Holly Finley, Sarah Hokom, just one more stroke behind. We're at the 13th now, a 276-foot par 3 that everyone tells me plays a little bit longer than that, or at least feels like it
Yeah,
does.
a lot of the distances on both of these courses kind of feel off. I don't know if they have changed it previously, but you want to get a straight shot that goes underneath that branch. If you can just focus on getting it straight, you're going to get out here probably a little bit more than 276 because it does go back uphill. But as long as you can get a good straight shot past that tree on the left, you will have a look at birdie. Own really working that flex shot here, trying to get a skip in the tall grass. That'll be in her range. I'm going to start saying within 100 feet.
Anything within 100 feet is
Anything
within
within
Owen's
100
range.
feet,
She's about
she's-
42 feet away.
She's going to give it a look. We'll see if that stays out of the branches. That's not going to do too much to it. It only took just a little bit off of it. It was a good line. It's hard to punch it all the way straight and keep it so low as it slopes downhill. Sarah catches a lot more of the branch than Juliana did.
Yeah, drops straight down to about 90 feet away.
We'll see if Holly can do her magic with her hyzer flip. It looks like she does. Oh, completely looked like it was around there. Kicks her off to the left. She threw that perfectly.
Sarah just spiking that in from 90 feet. Now Holly from a very similar line.
Putting with her Colt. Gives it a good, strong run. Comes up short in the tall grass.
JK from 46. Oh,
That looked in. Just drops right in front of the cage.
now Own from a step closer.
You can tell, even with the glasses on, she had that look. She was going to throw that in. We won't even give her the run back. We'll just see it on the next
Yeah, I
hole.
saw that right over her shoulder all the way in. Here's Holly now from 12 feet. These baskets seem to handle Holly's very fast putt when she hits it center chains.
Yeah.
Keeps the disc off the pole from potentially bouncing off the pole and coming back out.
I don't know. I've still seen her have several.
Oh, she has indeed at both courses. And we're through the 13th with Owen Scoggins taking a stroke from the card and extending that lead.
That is 4 birdies in a row to start this back 9 for Owen.
The 14th, a par 3 at 330 feet.
This, for some women, is a placement shot straight ahead onto this little bit of a mound before the hole drastically takes off to the right and out of the trees.
You only need about 185 feet if you're just going for the corner.
Owen goes with her backhand. She says her forehand on this hole cuts off and skips into the woods too much on the right. So she just plays that nice, safe shot. She's only going for par. And that is smart because if you get off this fairway, it can turn into a bogey or worse very quickly. As you can tell, Juliana throws the same shot, but sometimes if you just don't stay in the middle, that upshot or layup shot can also sneak off into a really ugly situation.
Sarah getting this to shape around the corner nicely.
She gets a good long forward progressing skip out of the trees, and she's going to have her look for birdie. Holly working her flip up magic. That's going to turn around the corner perfectly and get her outside of the trees as well. That's an excellent drive.
So the advantage so far to both Holly and Sarah. Juliana and Own.
Yeah, and she threw this
Some work.
Placement shot. Literally, she couldn't have done it much better if it was just a hair shorter. It slid off of the fairway there, and that is tough to get back. Own just going to punch out and try to slide up to the basket.
Ends up a little short.
Yeah, very difficult from hole to hole. Sometimes, there's a lot more grass than it looks like, especially when the previous holes have had such fast greens. You have to really pay attention and change up your landing zone on those upshots.
Here's Holly from 70.
She's staring it down. She wants this big jump putt. Can she get it to fall?
Ooh.
So close.
Perfectly weighted there. Now Sarah from about 54. Just misses off to her left. Now Own from just inside the circle, about 28 feet away. Oh boy, caught a lot of chain and the edge of the basket, but then up and over the edge.
Holly taps in her par. As does Sarah. And they're finally going to get one back on Own.
Yeah, both Own and Juliana carding bogeys here at the 14th. The 14th one of 3 holes on the back 9 that didn't card a single solitary
Playing
birdie.
with gnats there, Grant? What are you doing?
Yeah. Lots of bugs there in the woods.
You can support Ace One Pro. $3 a month will get you started on their Patreon account. Help keep them out on tour. They bring some excellent coverage. They have fun giveaways every single month. Make sure to subscribe and become an Ace Runner. An Ace Runner.
An Ace Runner.
Run us over to 15.
The 15th is a par 4 at 444 feet.
This is another hole that you feel like you deserve a medal to get off of it. You have to keep a straight, soft finishing shot about to there for your second shot to approach the basket. Anything left or right is complete gel. And so you have to throw something that's not going to have much turn either direction. Kicks typically happen and can be punishing. Sarah has a perfect angle, and it doesn't look like that's going to go too far in at all.
Great, down to one of the last of those sort of tiers as you go down the hill.
Yeah, and if you can just get over the ridge here and stay near the middle, par is doable. Holly's going to work towards most of the front. That's going to be a good look if that came all the way out.
So Owen Scoggins now.
Yeah, she's putting a lot on this. Looks like it got hung up on the left.
And now Juliana Korver.
And JK loves that lofty, glidey shot that starts low and comes up high. Get her over the ridge, close to the middle. Have you ever tried an air bounce shot like JK throws?
Well, I've tried it. I
they're
can't
so
pull it off the way she does. Not even close.
They're so difficult. Owen gets all the way down there close to the basket. That is an excellent shot. Very difficult to do. Holly looks to be most of the way towards the front of this foliage. But even that, it's this the entire fairway is very difficult, even if you're just a foot off.
Even seems to get narrower the closer you get to the basket. Here's JK.
Working that forehand, gets a good little kick back to the middle to save par.
And finally to Sarah's drive.
Beautiful drive. Perfect upshot slide for. We needed just a few more feet. Holly working that little Annie magic.
Nicely judged, but catches that hard pan.
Yeah, and that's the difficulty. Like Sarah's was the exact same shot, but just hit the grass. And these baskets are hard to approach because of that. You really have to know where you're landing. Owen's going to give this a look for birdie. That second shot got her all the way down there, and I think that's almost harder than the drive.
Oh,
wow.
Squeaks it right up and over the edge.
Did you touch your hand on the ground?
Yeah.
So that's a football, right?
If you fall forward, it is a football.
Yeah.
Did you fall inside the circle?
This is inside?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think so, yeah.
So Owen thought that she was just outside the circle,
Yeah,
and
it
so
was
when
like
she
that.
released this putt, she had too much forward momentum, and so she puts down that hand.
There's no reputt.
Yeah, the rule in the past, there was a warning for the first time that happened. Now the rules have been changed. That's an automatic one-stroke penalty. Sarah gets her birdie putt. She played the hole perfectly.
Carded the only birdie on the day here at the 15th.
Yeah, and that's unfortunate. It's not that Owen that really helped the putt go in. She completed the putt, but just couldn't maintain the balance. And it is our job as players to make sure that everyone on your card plays by the rules, and that's a hard thing to do. So, good job, ladies, for calling it out. And Owen understands the rules as well. So that will be a par for Owen on the 15th.
We're to the 16th, a par 4 at 492 feet. This is an interesting hole, to say the least.
Yeah, you have to keep it low enough to get past that hanging down branch, but you also don't want to get too high and catch this big hill on the right. Finishing off to the left of that hill is an easier approach toward the basket. If you get yourself caught on that hill, back on the first drive, it's very difficult to see the basket and makes that second shot even more difficult. This green, as you can tell, also sets up for some ugly rollaways. Sarah cuts that in a little too much, but it's going to work its way out towards the edge. She should be just fine for the second shot. Holly working the turnover, but unfortunately that tends to happen. Either you keep going off into the trees, the wind might have picked up on her, or you even just smash it into the hill.
Owen right up the middle, drifting now at the end, down to the left, a little bit into the rough there.
Yeah, she got quite a big skip for that grass. Let's see if Juliana can ride the wind a little bit better. It's a very common thing to do if you try to work the turnover for distance. It just suckers us into that hill, and that's a hard placement.
Sarah coming out now.
Yeah, she couldn't really get the height that she needed to get all the way up to the basket.
She'll have a lengthy look for birdie here. Holly trying to back into a stance. And from over there, difficult to approach the basket because of this hill.
Yeah, and that's just going to hyze her down. Unfortunately, that was almost all she could do.
Juliana blind to the basket.
Working her nice, soft, straight approaches. And that's where you want to be. You want to be on that downside of the hill to take away the death putt.
No, it looks good. I see you.
Oh, and just double checking the footing with the card. It's a lot of power to get it all the way to the basket from that awkward stance because this is all arm. Yeah, that. I didn't think that she was going to be able to get up the hill much with that.
Holly Finley looks to be around 100 feet, maybe a little shorter than that, trying to flex this in.
Yeah. It's a hard decision on what to do there because of the hill. Fortunately, that rolls off behind that line of pine trees. Owen takes the jumper.
Sarah just up and under the basket there.
Par 4 allows for a little bit extra.
Oh.
Beautiful birdie putt.
From circle's edge to in, JK with one of only a handful of birdies at the 16th.
And this is one with 2 good shots. Is definitely birdieable for our field. Just have to have a clean drive as well as the approach. Landing on the right side definitely makes the par something that's difficult because you have to decide if you're going to run this putt or not. Strong putt for Holly to save bogey.
Sarah Hokom in for the par.
Just a couple more holes to finish out round number 3.
Play disc golf.
Pelaan frisbeegolfia.
Spill disc golf. Ja.
To help recognize players of all ages and backgrounds, we are excited to announce the PDGA Global Master Series.
Beginning January 2023, anyone competing in a Masters division at a PDGA-sanctioned tournament will qualify.
You'll be ranked with other players in your division from around the world. And the player with the 8 highest rated rounds will become a PDGA Global Master Series champion.
Visit pdga.com/GMS.
You're looking at the 17th, a par 3 at 330 feet.
Winding up, over, down, back up, over, through. It feels like 300 trees out to the cornfield. This softly, beautifully placed basket just underneath these 2 big trees. Lot to maneuver around to get to this hole. To keep a straight shot going uphill for this long is pretty difficult. Some of the women will choose just to throw a putter or mid and softly try to just land around or over that first ridge. If you get kicked off on that left side, there is a very deep creek, no water in it, that comes into play. It is also on the right side. Holcomb gets a great kick back to the middle. There's a bridge right there she's going to be close to.
Owen pulling that over just a little bit.
I believe that was her putter, so I think she's changed play from round 1. Lots of gnats and bugs and stuff out here with all this humidity. I think we always, all of us kind of notice, oh, beautiful drive by Holly, able to get that last little push out to the middle. We're all getting tired and hungry by this hole, is what I usually say. We all come back there and we're just hot, tired, hungry. So you have to dig deep to finish and get up this big hill.
Owen trying to find footing here.
Yeah, and she has no clue where this basket is, except for she can probably see that tree on the left. Knows if she cranks it out, that destroyer should come back, and it does.
JK venturing into the wilds.
Yeah, I believe she's all the way at the bottom of that creek. So not only can you not see anything, very difficult even to punch out from that spot.
Yeah, from the left all the way across to the right. Now Holly Finley.
And that drive was absolutely perfect where she can just do a nice soft jump putt to tap in her stress-free par.
Nothing wrong with that here at Northwood. Nice little out there from JK. This is Own's par saving opportunity.
Own range. Oh, thought she had it. I love Sarah's
did.
high putt. Gives her a strong bid at the basket every time. It doesn't go too far if she misses. JK taps in the bogey after the hard lie on her first shot. Own leaves herself with a little bit of a comeback.
No problem there. Couple of pars, couple of bogeys for the lead card here at the 17th, a hole that didn't see a single birdie recorded on the day by the FP40 field. And we move on to the 18th, Owen Scoggins with a 9-stroke lead over Sarah Hokom.
The 18th hole, another par 4, 660 feet. You want a good, strong drive out to the middle of what looks like a big open fairway, but you can easily find yourself off to the trees, left or right. Second shot is going to go up the hill, and this is a pretty big hill, basket finishing off to the right. So if you can finish to the left on your first drive, you can have a better look at where the 18th basket is. Sarah crushing out her strong forehand drive to that left side. Give herself a lot of room to work the second shot.
Big drive there from Sarah.
It was. Good distance. Holly gonna try some. It didn't turn up as much as I thought it would for her. She really likes that turning hyzer shot.
Plenty of room though, off to the left.
Yeah, if you can get off right there clean. This one turns a little too much for Juliana. That second shot will be very difficult from there. The road is actually behind that line of trees, so if you cut through the tree, you can find yourself out of bounds, as well as if you get caught up in the trees just off the tee, there's a creek that apparently is out of bounds as well, so pretty much an automatic re-tee.
Oh, and just trying to make as much progress as she can up the hill.
So Juliana coming very close to the out of bounds, but she'll be able to use that road maybe.
Oh, wow.
Oh, I was going to say you could even get a really good skip off that. Holly trying to work some turnover to get a little extra distance to go up the hill. It's a big hill, takes a lot to get up there.
Sarah working around the corner.
Yeah, that second shot plays to a forehand very well. So I think JK took off a lot of distance going on that outside, even though I don't think she meant to.
No.
She's going to be able to slide right up there for a tap-in par on the 18th. Holly giving a soft bid as well.
Also to within tap-in range. Big running start for Owen Scoggins.
That was so close. Thank you. Oh my God, so close.
She loves it.
And Sarah up
Yeah,
there, a little flat.
Just laying it up. Disappointed when you lay a disc up, you want no thought on the next one. And so, not that she can't make this putt, but you don't want the stress of a spit or anything coming down on that last hole.
So everybody going to par out here at the 18th. Another of those 3 holes on the back 9 that didn't see a single birdie carded on the day by the FP40 field.
Few spectators making it out to follow the women. 1,100 golfers out here between the juniors and the masters this week.
Boy, and you see them all over town. So Owen Scoggins with that 9-stroke lead over Sarah Hokom. We'll get a look at the full leaderboard here. Holly Finley and Juliana Korver will keep their spots on the lead card as we head to round number 4. Looks like Stephanie Vincent and yourself, Jennifer, there nipping at everybody's heels. And we'll be back here with more coverage of the 2022 PDGA Masters Disc Golf World Championship. So make sure you're following along with us on all of our social channels and follow the PDGA right here on YouTube, as we've got more post-produced coverage coming of many more rounds here at the Masters World Championships.